Hello and welcome to another edition of Ankle Sore and the 8th episode of Carlton Club Corner, otherwise known as the most delusional club in the AFL. I've had enough, people. I've had enough. If you don't want to hear the truth about Carlton, turn this off now. Because there'll be no positives in this one. I'm going to just be honest and tell you how I feel about Carlton going forward. So the game against Sydney is literally just finished. And after being up by 26 points in the first quarter, Carlton go and get trounced by 52 points. Can you believe that? So that's a 78-point turnaround. And they're trying to play finals. Not just play finals. They thought they were going to finish top four. Everyone thought they were premiership favourites. Kidding themselves. Before I start, I just want to give you one caveat. I promise you, I'm not holding back in this one. No one's safe. Not the big names, not the little names, not the coach. Nobody. So let's start with Patrick Crips. I think, and this is my opinion, I think the game's passed you by. It's not a slow person's game anymore. You don't kick enough goals. You're too slow. You just don't get involved. I gave you a stat a few weeks back. And I think it was episode 6 of Carlton Club Corner. The worst midfield. 6 out of 10 times, so 60%, he was last in the AFL. Not just midfielders. He was last in the AFL to get the ball to his teammates. That's not me saying it. It's Champion Data stats. They are facts. Yet he's the captain. Yet he's won a Brownlow. Yet they think he's invincible. Yet they think he's untouchable. For me, go home to Perth, WA, take your pick, Fremantle or West Coast. It hasn't worked. You're 28. You're on a big contract. It's not going to work. It's not going to work with you as captain. I'm sorry. There, I said it. You don't like it? That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I crazy? Am I right? Are people just too scared to say because it's Paddy Crips? I'm not scared, and I'll tell you why later on in the episode. Mark, I refuse to say his surname, number 27, the big Ruckman. Go away, just leave, get out. You're hopeless, absolutely hopeless. I don't know what's happened from, I reckon, the finals last year where De Koning was so good, and yet he comes in at about round 3 after we're undefeated. And since he's come in, we've won 2 games. It's not solely his fault. I'm just making the point that we just get too cocky and just say, oh, yeah, we'll play him and we'll use De Koning down forward who doesn't get a touch anymore. And, you know, he's our number 1 ruckman, Mark Pitton. He's not. He's not. Tom De Koning is the number 1 ruckman at the club and should be the only ruckman. I don't see Sydney playing with 2 ruckmen. I don't see Melbourne playing with 2 ruckmen. I don't see Geelong playing with 2 ruckmen. I don't see Port Adelaide playing with 2 ruckmen. Oh, hang on. No, they did. And they subbed him off after the first quarter. Rest my case. Get him out. Tom De Koning is a 40 times better player than Mark, number 27. Remember, I don't say his last name. Out. My old friend Zack Williams. He actually plays a forward tonight. Not because it was, he kicked 7 goals last week in reserves. He was injured. He didn't play last week. Reserves or seniors. It's because he's not good enough and can't get a game in our backline. This guy's on $900,000 and cannot get a game in the team. So yet, Carlton still find a way to throw him in there somehow. I'm telling you, Carlton, if you don't start making the hard decisions, should have been weeks ago. Right now, finals are this far away from you missing. You're one game away from missing, I'm telling you. Lose next week, finals are done. It's over. There's no fairy tale like last year, I promise you. Matthew Owies, it's simple. This sport's not for you. Get out. Out. You're not a footballer. Out. Orazio Fantasia, what are you doing? How you get a game is beyond me. Beyond me. I know how, and I'll tell everyone if they don't know. So, Orazio went from Essendon, where he had a good career at Essendon before he started getting injured, went to Port Adelaide. Michael Voss was a senior assistant at Port Adelaide. Obviously, had a friendship with Orazio. Orazio got delisted from Port Adelaide. And Michael said, come down to Carlton. Let's see if we can, get you on the list somehow. Which I don't actually have a problem with. However, you've done nothing. You had a shot from goal, at goal, from 40 metres out and did not make the distance. Says it all. You just, 4 touches a game, doesn't count. Get out. Out. Another one. Corey Durden. Do you know how to kick a goal? Because I can't remember you ever kicking one, honestly. I know you have, but I'm just making the point. What are you doing? Why all of a sudden? So, small forwards are small forwards. Forward means you try and score. So why don't we have any? Why don't we have any goal kickers? Why aren't they just called small? They shouldn't be called forwards because they don't kick goals. Here's an interesting one. It's probably going to rub some people up the wrong way. Ollie Hollands. Sometimes it's okay to go near the ball. You don't have to stay wide and just wait for people to get it to you. You can go and get your own ball sometimes, Ollie. I know you don't weigh much and everything, but you're playing a professional sport. You're getting paid decent money. I know it's your second year. I should probably hold back, but I just don't see any improvement from last year. And I don't think you're what we're looking for. Jeez, I sound like a recruiter. But this is coming from, again, this is my opinion. So I just don't know what this kid's going to provide. Here's another controversial one. Harry Mackay. I've seen your podcast, Harry, with your brother. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I reckon you spend more time on your podcast than you do on your goal kicking. I honestly think you do because, again, nothing's improved. You're getting paid a lot of money to kick behinds or not even score or not have an impact in games. 1 out of 10 games or 9 games that we've played, I think you've had a really, really good one and one okay one. The rest you've just been, just like any other forwards getting paid $200,000, yet you're getting paid $800,000-900,000. So, make up your mind. Are you a professional footballer or are you a professional podcaster? Either way, I'm fine with either. But if you want to be a footballer, give the podcasting the ass and go and kick the football at the goals. 1,000 a day, minimum. I don't care if you rip your hamstring to shreds. You need to learn because you're no good fit and you'll be no good no fit. I'd rather you kick 1,000 goals a day. Goals, not behinds, until you kick 1,000. If it takes you 9,000 shots, bad luck. The next day it takes you 8,000 shots. You need to kick 1,000 goals a day. Just like in the NBA. The best free throw shooters practice. They don't just get it and, have a few foul shots. Nah, they have thousands a day. I know it's a different action and it's not as, much wear and tear as kicking a football, but really, we're playing football, okay? So you need to do it or get out. Now, a few players that didn't play because of injury, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. I promise I haven't forgotten about you. Jack Martin, why are you still at the club? Can you give me a good reason why you're still at Carlton? I'm waiting. You're always injured. Always. Always injured. I don't understand why you're still at the club. Leads me on to the next player. David Cunningham. Injured again. 7 years on the list. He's played, I don't even think he's played 50 games. Make some hard calls, Carlton. We will go nowhere with these players on the list. Okay? At the end of this year, you recruiters at Carlton should be looking at resilient players. I don't care how good or bad they are. Let's start with resiliency. That's how far behind I think we are. Let's start with resilient players first. And then see if they can play a bit. And if they have both, great. But you need to not be injured. I know injuries happen, and sometimes they're unavoidable, but it's the same players every second week. Caleb Marchbank, Mitch McGovern, which, having said that, I've just written down some notes, and I can guarantee you, okay? Guarantee. It's round 10 now. So by round 12, if it's not next week, it'll be the week after. Mitch McGovern and or Caleb Marchbank will get injured again. Mark my words. Go back and watch this video in 2 weeks and see if I'm right. It's obvious. It's so obvious. It happens all the time. And I don't know why. I don't know why they're at the club. Now I've saved the best for last. Michael Voss. I'm not a fan. I'm putting her out there to start with. This man was given a 2-year extension before the season even started. So he had a contract to the end of this year. So no matter what, he's not going anywhere this year. So would you not at least wait until, because of last year, and what happened, we were 14th, I think, at round 10, and then came home with a wet sail, which was none of his doing, by the way. You can think it was, but it had nothing to do with him. Wouldn't you just wait and think maybe there was just one out of the box last year, playing the preliminary final. Didn't win it, but playing the preliminary final, which is great. I was happy with that, and they did well to get that far. So wouldn't you wait and go, okay, we can't have the same start as we did last year. Let's wait and see before we sign this guy for another 2 years. Maybe he's just a bit of luck last year, What are they going to do? Sign him for 2 years. What happens? We're at round 10. We're sitting 8th. And mind you, only 4 teams have played so far. So by tomorrow, or by the time you see this video, we will be out of the 8 at round 10. That's not good. Not good at all. And this is a Voss problem. I don't think Voss is a very good coach. We don't have a plan B. Oh, no. Sorry. The plan B is sending the reigning and leading Coleman medalist back. That's plan B. Plan B is when plan A doesn't work, you send the Coleman medalist. That means the leading goal kicker in the whole competition, you send him back. He won it last year and he's leading the competition now, and you're sending him back? I don't know. I reckon that's a problem. That's like putting diesel in a petrol car. Make some tough calls, Vossi. Seriously, make some tough calls. Because you haven't done it in the 3 years you've been there. You have not made one tough call. You got to remember, we've recruited to win a premiership. And yet I think we're further away than we were last year. It's astonishing. Like I said, it's a carbon copy of last year, and I'm sick of it. 20 years as this has been. I'm going to ask you, who remembers about 18, 20 years ago when Ian Collins, that idiot, was the president at Carlton? He wanted to shut the club down because we were bankrupt. He wanted to lock the doors and the AFL to kick us out and whatever. Ian Collins. Okay. So, who saved the club? The supporters saved the club. For all of you, those that don't know, the supporters put in their hard-earned money, just donated money with nothing in return to save the club because we were bankrupt. And I was one of them. I went down, donated money, bought merchandise, bought sausages because they had sausage sizzles, and went and did this and went and did that and went and did this. There was a bunch of us. People that I know, Carlton supporters. But there was thousands. So now you probably understand why I get so frustrated when I see Carlton doing so poorly and making bad decisions like they've made for 20 years. It's frustrating, as you can probably tell. There you have it. Another episode of Carlton Club Corner in the books. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Love reading your comments, and I'll reply to all of you. See you on the next one.